Excuse me while I hide. I used to be afraid of knives. I used to be afraid that if I held them too long that somehow I would die. I used to feel like I couldn't leave the house. I used to feel like I wanted to be as small as a mouse, just hidden, living in the shadows, living in the walls, living in places that people would not find me or drag me out. They wouldn't ask me questions. They wouldn't cause me to feel like I needed to shout. Being hidden in the shadows feels comforting for a bit. And then it becomes really quiet. I used to love darkness. I used to call myself the vampire because all I did was do things at night. Anytime I had guests over, it'd be overnight. Every time I would do a freak a leak, it would be bumping the night. Even when I had company over, I wouldn't turn the lights on. It had to be in complete darkness. That was the theme of the song that I sang, because I wish that I could be invisible. Excuse me while I hide. There was too much going on. Outside seemed too loud and it didn't feel safe. It didn't feel like a place that I should be. It didn't feel like a place that I should put myself, because I didn't know where it was safe. I didn't know what would be for me. I didn't know what would be outside. I didn't know what would be the point of trying to fake it till I make it. I just didn't know, and I am allergic to fake, and so I decided hiding was better. I decided that hiding was the best thing for me, because at least when I'm hidden, I'm quiet. At least when I'm hidden, it's stable. There's stability in darkness, is what I used to think. Because the sun shines and it exposes everything, and it leaves me vulnerable and out there and naked and full of fear of what was going to happen to me. I said, excuse me while I hide. I used to be afraid of knives, meaning when I used to have a knife in my hand, I used to visualize how I would cut away the fat from my body. And that's how deep it got. That's how dark it felt. That's how crucial my thoughts were. That's how crucial it was that I interrupted the negativity with something positive. That's how detrimental it was going to get if I didn't seek help, if I didn't seek different, if I didn't seek to be full of life. Then my soul was going to end up in a hell damned to eternity, a place where was dark, a place that was hot, a place that was full of screams and vile thoughts. It's not a place I wanted to be, yet I didn't know how to change the atmosphere. I didn't know that there was something so beautiful about sunlight. I didn't know that it was okay to be weird, to be different. I didn't know that there was healing that was available to me. Someone like me, honestly, someone like me, someone who's been through life, someone who has felt like an eyesore, someone who has felt like the one that people wished wasn't around. Man, I used to drown in my thoughts. I used to drown myself in thinking that life would be better if I wasn't around, because I'm like, there's too much pain here. There's too much pain all around. There's too much pain in my brain. It wouldn't allow me to think complete thoughts, think without the fact of my situation being what it was, something that I felt like I couldn't change. So excuse me while I hide from the reality, hide from the truth, hide from the experiences that were surrounding me, hide from the moments that felt like it was going to crush me, and it was the end, and I have reached all that I could be. Excuse me while I hide from the depressing thoughts. Even sometimes those got too much for me. Man, I didn't understand what a panic attack was. I've spoken about this before, but this was different. I did not want to leave my house different. This was going outside, the colors were too vibrant different. This was the fresh air hit my lungs and it felt like it shouldn't be different. I felt like if I went outside, I would expose myself to crying at any time, meaning embarrassment, meaning a lack of self-control, meaning that I lost it when I was in public and people would want to know what is wrong with her, and I didn't have answers. I didn't know what to say. Do I say, hey, my son died? Do I say, hey, I'm sad? Because then that brought on a whole bunch of pity. And honestly, pity was worse than the pit that I was already in. I know people meant well, but pity just made me feel lower. Pity just made me feel like life was moving at a slower pace. Pity just reminded me of all the love that I wish I had, but that slipped through my fingertips as people continued to judge only what they saw on the outside. On the outside, they thought I was strong. They thought that I didn't exhibit the real symptoms of a person going through trauma, and so they labeled me as a high functioning depressed person, as if that lessens the toll or lessens the weight of going through depression. It just meant that I was better at hiding. I was better at keeping myself looking a specific way while faking it through the way. I don't know who said fake it till you make it, because honestly, I'd rather live authentically and feel and enjoy the process than try to fake anything until I make it. Let me be confident in the little that I have and allow the little to grow into big. Because when you have faith that is like a mountain, it doesn't start off as mountain faith. It starts off as mustard seed faith, and then it grows. Each time you believe for something better and bigger, and it comes and it shows that you have great faith, and then it grows. And so if we could, or if I could, throw away the notion of fake it till I make it, throw away the thought of wanting to pretend that things are all together, and just live and be in the moment, that things feel like the depressing weather. Things feel gloomy. Things feel dark. And although I loved the dark didn't seem to love me back. Or at least in this moment, the dark was trying to snuff me out with it. And I realized that the dark was no longer my friend. The dark was my enemy. The end of me felt near, and it felt like I needed to do something different, do something special. I needed to reach to another place that most don't often get to reach. It is a conscious decision to stand tall amidst wanting to hide. Excuse me while I hide. I had to say bye to the person that loved being in that chaotic space. I had to say bye to the person who didn't understand where to go or what face to put on. I had to say bye to the funny expressions that I would do as I tried to hold myself together like glue. Like, I had to literally take inventory of what I was doing, what I was going through, and how I was managing. And then I had to make the adjustments. I could no longer hide. I could no longer ride the waves of unintention. I could no longer go through life thinking, man, I'm going to just let this all happen to me. But I had to get to a point where I needed to take over. On one hand, I needed to surrender my life to God, but on the other hand, I needed to take over and say, I'm responsible for my feelings. I'm responsible for certain things that are happening. I may not be able to change the circumstance that my son has died, the circumstance that my money is gone, the circumstance that I have a job that I love but also hate because I have it to pay the bills and I have card payments due and I don't want this life, but it was given to me. I had to choose to do something that brought joy, to do something that allowed me to live breathtakingly, as creatively as God has intended me to be. I used to try to live small. I used to try to lower my voice, keep it quiet. I used to try to stop being so weird. I used to try to stop being so so different, so unique. I used to try to stop being so loud, and you know what that got me? That got me the silence that I built around me. And you know what? I decided, oh, that no longer served me. That no longer served the purpose. And so, excuse me while I put down the hiding and I take up what I was meant to be. I was meant to be a person with a strong voice who spoke poetically. I was meant to be the person that fought for other people, that believed in injustices. I was meant to be the person that was shining bright and did the things that made me different. I was meant to be the person that loved life to the fullest and appreciated the purpose in which I was built for and used my platform to help other people soar. I was meant to be the opposite of hiding. And so I started. I started with the thing that they used to make fun of me about, my body, the parts of me. I used to love art and drawing, and I loved lipstick. And so I started in a small space creating. At first it was just colors. And as I told you, going outside, the colors were too bright, so I started inside. I started inside the house, painting colors on my lips, blending them, putting them together, watching them fold into another. Then I started painting sceneries. Then I started understanding that this mixed with this creates something beautifully, creates something abstract. And then I started to understand the beauty that was outside. And then I started going for walks. And then I started to embrace the sunshine, and I understood that it wasn't here to harm me. It was here to shed light. It was here to bring warmth and to bring comfort. It was funny how the comfort that I wanted from the dark, it only offered me cold. But when I accepted the warmth of the sun, I automatically felt so bold and alive and ready to thrive and take up what life was giving to me. So I took up my paintbrush, which is my lip brush, and I painted these colors on my lips, and people started to notice, and they said, hey, that's kind of cool, that's kind of unique, that's kind of different. And I started to build out my voice, and I started to build out the fact that I would walk with purple lipstick and blue hair, and it became this identity, or this part of me that's been longing for acceptance. There's part of me that's been longing for love, not from people, but from myself. And I started to, instead of reject who I was, I started to accept every part of me. Yes, I am a lip artist. I am a designer. I create really cool sceneries on my lips. And as much as sometimes I still feel amateur, I know that I'm doing something that makes me happy. It is literally my happy place. It has brought me out of darkness into a space of complete peace. Complete peace. That this is a thing that I get to do because I made the decision one day that the darkness couldn't stay. I made a decision one day that I wanted more than just what life was handing me. And although it may just be in the beginning stages, I'm so excited for all that I'm going to get to do with this lip art, that I am a poet, that I am designing, that I am creatively putting together or curating these ideas that I see in my mind, and I partner with God in a lot of the things that I do nowadays. There's not too much that I'm afraid to do, even if it's not perfect. I look at it and I say, hey, that was a work done by my own hand. I am my own canvas. I walk as though I am my own advertisement. I walk as though I am my own voice. There's been a lot of changes, a lot of acceptances, a lot of forgiveness that I had to do for myself, that when I was going through those dark moments, I may have said things to myself, reacted in ways that didn't serve me. But now that I am fully ready to accept responsibility of being an amazing person, I am stepping into a space where I'm able to move with grace. It's not hard. It's not challenging. It's not holding me back. I'm moving into a space where I find ease and flexibility and laughter, because you know what? There's nobody who owns my lips, my voice, my talent, but the one who gave it to me. I know a lot of people who say, oh, they're just logical. They can't do art. They can't do nothing creative. I implore you to find something that you love. Don't hide. The time for hiding is gone. The time for allowing past thoughts and past traumas to overtake is done. Whatever life has handed you, whatever life has handed me, I have built it, used it brick by brick to build the life that I am stepping into, and I have not even really started this journey yet. I do dope work, but nobody has seen it yet because I have been hidden. I have been hiding my talent, and you know what? I am done doing that. I am done making excuses for why I can't get up and can't get out there and show off the work that I did, the work that I do. I am done playing like I am small. Like, you know that thing that we do when we're like, oh, I mean, I'm okay, I'm all right. No, I am a slamming good artist. My art speaks. It may be on my lips, but my art speaks. My words move. My words hit hearts. My words are meant to inspire, meant to penetrate that darkness. My words are meant to be the light that is needed for a full opening. I am living proof that living a hidden life is really not one that is beneficial. I'm living proof that living a life that is hidden from those around, it really just holds back healing in someone else's life, healing in their life. I'm living proof that restoration is possible, that we can get from one side of darkness to something completely different. I'm living proof that darkness is not meant to be a way of life, but joy. Ooh, that joy that comes in the morning is everything that we need it to be. I have removed the scales. I have removed the veil. I have removed the hiddenness that was inside my heart. And I have offered myself up sacrificially to be everything that God needs me to be that life that He's created me to be, and to be that example, not just for other people, but to myself, that it is possible, that even just with a little bit of faith, my whole world could be shifted. All I had to do was say yes. All I had to do was believe that there was more for me. All I had to do is know that this was not the answer, that these thoughts that I had of knives and cutting fat, like those weren't the answer. I had to remove those images. I had to purge them from my body. I had to write it out. Why do I feel like that? What is the root of it? What is causing me to want to think in this way? Like, what is it in my brain that is causing this? And how do I replace it? How do I affirm something different in my life? How do I apply a different set of thinking? Some people do it with affirmations. I love to do it with scripture. I love to quote different parts of the Bible that are meant to be a word of encouragement. And so it's funny because when people would say, mourning may endure for a moment, but joy cometh in the morning, I used to say, yeah, okay. But then I've gone through days where the darkness or the sadness literally at night, but in the morning, it was like life just gave me another chance. The sun was shining so bright, and it just reminded me to not get stuck. It reminded me to not stop in the middle of darkness, but continue until I see the light. Can you imagine if we held ourselves underwater and never came up for air? Man, what a wasted life that would be. So excuse me while I grow. I am choosing to be in the know of a different reality than the one I started with. Hey, thank you so much for listening to the Lips and Language podcast. My name is Kola. I am so excited that you are here. If anything I said today resonated, then get in touch with me. I have an amazing mentorship program. It is for those who feel misunderstood, overwhelmed, going through grief. It is truly an amazing time. If you want more info, hit my website, lipsandlanguage.com. And if you want to get in touch with me, you can hit it up on the website or DM me. I have a free gift for you, and I would love to be in contact with you. Whatever you decide, just know that healing, it looks good on you. And I'm so excited that we get to do this journey together. Have a blessed day. And if nobody told you, I will. I love you. Enjoy your day, and we'll talk soon. Peace.